Hello everyone, this is Aravox Games on YouTube. We're going to discuss a little bit about a strategy. This is going to be a video where I'm discussing while I'm playing, and I want to explain some issues. This is going to consider land claim blocks in 7 Days to Die and why you may not want to even use them ever again. I am currently knocking out a lot of rocks in my base. It is land claimed. So we had a little bit of server drama when a guy named Jephus found another player's base, and it was apparently already being raided, and he decided to raid it too. He got caught raiding it, so they put out a hit on him. The drama was not that. The drama was that this other base that was raided apparently had a couple of players living in it, and they could not understand how Jephus found their base. So I'm going to explain to you the tactics that Jephus used, because we were talking about why that player that had his base raided, why him and his team may not want to use land claim blocks. So this might be new to some of you, but it doesn't matter how well your base is hidden underground. It doesn't matter how the territory at the top of the base looks. There will eventually be a player who comes into your area and they accidentally hit something, or maybe they're hunting deer, or they're hunting a chicken, and they fire an arrow and it misses and hits the ground, and they hear that ding. They will then know that this base, this area, is protected. They will then know that there is a base under there somehow, some way. And here is where you come into the problem. Once your base is discovered, and if it's underground, which I prefer to have underground bases, okay? I'm not knocking that. But once your base is discovered, people will then have access to knowing the location of your base. If players know the location of your base, it does not matter how many turrets you have. It does not matter how much concrete you've used to seal in your base and wall it up. With enough time, a player can easily demolish through your base. If they have a very good pickaxe, if they have an auger that's the top level, they will eat through that concrete. Okay? There are cases where some bases are land claimed, and somebody can get in to that base in less than 3 hours. Now you may be thinking, why would someone waste 3 hours of their life on a PvP server to break into my base and specifically seek out the land claim block? Well, for two reasons. One, they're bored. Two, bragging rights. Bragging rights is a big thing. The other issue is some of these people like to make others suffer. Okay, now I'm not saying that's what Jephus was doing. Jephus found the base, he decided to raid it. It's part of the game. But you need to understand as a player that if you get mad and you get upset that all your stuff is stolen and you leave the server, there are many players who eat that up. Okay? There are toxic players out there who will eat it up. I've seen people, back in the old day, heck, it took you like all day to raid. It wasn't like an hour or two of time. It was all day, and people still raided then. So, do the math. They're going to raid you. So, your greatest ally, if you are making an underground base, is to use deception and keep it hidden. Okay? The moment that somebody knows where your base is, the deception is out the window. So, here's how they find your land claim block. For those that do not understand this, you can go to the server and you can look at the information of the server and you can see how many blocks that the land claim protects. People will write that down and they will then count blocks. And they will figure out, especially if they can determine that your base is only protected by one land claim, you're in deep trouble. Because now they know, it doesn't matter if you have an endless supply of land claim blocks going down, they will know that every one of those land claims are on the same block level, one under the other. So, the general consensus for somebody who's raiding a base is not to go through the front door, not to bust out the walls and make it easy and just go straight to your stash. It's actually to count the land claim blocks, figure out where the land claim is, okay, from that position, and you dig down. You dig straight down to the land claim, and you're going to take it. You take it out. Now, most of these players are going to have a ton of food and water on them when they do this. They're going to run back to their base and get supplies. If they have an auger, they're going to get a ton of gas. They're going to be prepared to raid for hours if need be. You need to keep this in mind. So once they figure out where your land claim blocks are from a certain point, they dig down. Now, for the average player, you're probably thinking, well, why would they dig down when all they can do is, just try to figure out where my secret entrance is, it's hidden, find my doors and bust them down. They don't need to do that. It's common sense that if somebody has an underground base in 7 Days to Die and they have a land claim block in that base, it's going to be connected to that base somehow, some way. It's very common for people to make a fake floor. Well, they don't make a fake floor. They make it's common for people to dig down 2 blocks where their floor is going to be, and they'll put down a land claim block, and then on the next block they'll put like a wooden floor or whatever. So that way they match the whole floor. It looks like it's disguised. I'm telling you, it's not. Because people will count they'll count the spaces, they'll count the blocks, they'll figure out where the land claim is. So if somebody knows where the land claim block is, on what block, then all they got to do is dig down. Once they hit the land claim block, especially if there's only one in the entire base, they take it out, they have now access. Once they get to the land claim block, they have access to your base. Not only that, now everything's 1,000 times easier. Nothing is protected. Now, pro players, they will turn around and they will find your doors and bust them out first. They will put in they'll put in a land claim block of their own, and now that base is theirs while they're demolishing it. They will take your workshop, your workbench, they will take your forges, whatever. They'll get into your boxes that are your secure chest boxes super easy. It doesn't matter. So I'm just telling you, a professional raider will have their own land claim block ready. They may even turn around and loot your stuff and use your materials to make their land claim block. Okay? You have to be ready for that, and you have to understand that that is a tactic. I know it sucks, but it is what it is, guys. It just simply is what it is. So I personally, I'm on the fence with using land claim blocks or not. I'm trying to find this other exit that I had up here somewhere. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Okay, so I have been on the fence with land claim blocks for a long time, and the reason why is I've had, let's see, that's going all the way down, I think. Yes, it is. Okay, it's all the way down to my base, so so I only need to go 2. Knock down 2, not 3. So I'm going to tell you reasons why sometimes I use a land claim block, even after telling you all that. I have had 2 incidents where I made a fake base, okay, and it did have a land claim, and underneath this, I don't think I need to take out this block. No, I can. So I've made some hidden bases that were genius. They were, the top part is a fake base, and it looks like it's already raided. Like, I would put in all of the chests, and I would break them, make it look like there's nothing in there, put stupid stuff in there like sand and wood here and there, A few items I would drop in there that are decent to make it look like it's been raided. Now, what this does is another player finds this base and they assume it's been raided. They're going to go through all your stuff, okay? But the secret is generally you have a better base that's your main base under this fake base. Now, here's the problem. I have still seen players many times over count the blocks, figure out where the land claim is, even though it's active, and they dig down to get rid of it. And then when they can't find it, the more down that they have to go in order to find your land claim, the more they are going to be thinking, hey, this is a fake base that has a real base under it. And they're going to be pursuing that land claim. Once they find that land claim, they'll take it out. I've still had players put in their own land claim and leave it there. Which means your main base, if it's below it, is now useless to you. You cannot open your own doors. It's like you're trapped in somebody else's base. You cannot open your own chests, all of that. Now, the way around it, there's only one way around this, and that is to leave everything unlocked. But here's the other problem. I have had the scenario that I explained to you happen to me many times. Okay, I played for years on 7 Days to Die. So I've had somebody find the fake base at the top that looks like it's raided. And technically that's what I'm trying to make it look like. And I have my real base under it, and then people still put down their own land claim because they found my land claim, took it out, put down their own in the same spot. And in some cases, these players take over that base. That's the worst case scenario. And in other cases, they dig down even deeper just to make sure that there isn't something there, because why wouldn't they? If they've already put down a land claim, then they own that now. You see what I'm saying? So the only way around that scenario is you keep everything unlocked. If you have all of your doors below in the main base unlocked and all of your chests unlocked, then you can absolutely still use that base, even though somebody above you is living above you and they don't know you're below. Now, here's the issue. You better be really below them, or else they'll hear you down there. When you're doing things like cooking or you're using the forge, they'll hear it. They will hear it even from a distance. So you need to be about, I think, 22 blocks deeper than what they can go. But here's the issue. If they move in, the chances of them only using that one land claim block and digging further down to extend their base is super high. And they will come into your base. I have had this happen to me. I've even been trapped in my own base. And one time when I left everything unlocked and I had a guy on top of me, he still came down later, even though everything was unlocked and I was living down there for like a couple of days. I had a completely different entrance that he didn't know about, from another area that was not land claim block. It was on the outside. He never found it, but he found my base eventually, because he had dug down, extending his base. And we talked about it in chat, and he was like, holy hell, how long have you been living down there, blah blah blah. And he thought it was creepy as hell that he was living on top of me in a base that he thought was raided, and that I was really living below him, and we were active at the same time online. Like, it was pretty funny. Now, I knew my own way in and out of my upper base that was fake, so, you know, I was able to spy on this guy and sneak around and get his name through a sniper scope. So, once I got that, I knew, okay, I need to watch out for this guy, make sure that when I'm online, that I pay attention to when he's online too. So, these are the reasons why you may not want to use the land claim block. Okay, and it has to do with deception and location. Once your base has been discovered, there's nothing stopping that person from sharing it with the server. There's nothing stopping that person from getting another person to help them raid it, even if they're solo. I mean, if you're going for deception, you need to go for deception. So, there's pros and cons to not using land claim blocks. Okay, if you can hide your base, and if it looks well hidden, then I would suggest that if it's well hidden, that you not use a land claim block, ever. So, like I said, in this server we had some drama because this whole group of people had their base raided, and they did not understand how Jephus, the player, had found their base. And that's how. It's because he counted blocks once he discovered, hey, this place is protected. Okay, so you gotta be careful. So I just wanted to throw this out there, and this is just a quick video about this, this kind of situation to warn other players. It may be better for you to just dig a hole down into the ground in the middle of nowhere and not use a land claim block, believe it or not. If you have crops that are land claim blocked inside your base somehow, you risk somebody else finding all of this, and then now you can never harvest your own crops. Okay, if you have the chests inside your base secured and locked and with a land claim block, and you're deep underground of a secret base, like these are all locked. See, these are all locked. Okay, I risk somebody coming to this location. I'm not going to show you on the map where it is because I am still actively playing on this server. Hey, I timed that just right. The fire literally just went out. Then if somebody finds this base, they may turn around and have the upper hand. Basically, they'll come in and they'll be like, "Hey, I found a base, and I knocked it out, and yada yada yada, and then I put down my own land claim block, and I'm taking it over." So if somebody does that, I can't get into these. Okay, if somebody knocked out my land claim, and I had a fake base up top, I couldn't get in any of this because it's locked. So this base that I'm showing you right now is land claimed, and I generally will not do this in the game. There's been times when I've done it with and without land claims. You need to make up your own decision on that. I'm telling you right now, gun turrets, yeah, they'll kill a player. And if you set them up inside the base and you make other traps, that's great. The problem is that they may become more determined to take that base out. So be careful. Having turrets inside the base, they soak up gas. So this has just been a video about strategies, about land claim blocks, why you may not want to use them. So let's go ahead and move over here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking me out and listening. I'm going to ask you like, share, and subscribe. And this is a video that's just educational for 7 days to die players who are on PvP servers. Take care. Oh, and before I quit, one other major issue of not using land claim blocks. A lot of people used to think zombies were a problem. Zombies can break through your house, and it doesn't matter that you have a land claim block or not. So if you're thinking about using a land claim block to prevent horde nights and things like that, then you need to understand the zombies are not going to care about land claim blocks at all. They will still break through everything. So yeah, take care, like, share, and subscribe.